All right, now I'm going to show you a very fast and inexpensive way to build your own indoor lighting kit. And we're going to start with 2 or 3 utility light housings. These come with a standard light socket, a silver reflector, and usually a built-in clamp so you can attach them to something. The reflectors on these lights come in different sizes. You can really use whatever size you want. I happen to be using lights with an 8.5-inch reflector for these videos. You can also get these lights at any home improvement or hardware store for just a few dollars each. Next comes the most important part, the bulbs we're going to use with these lights. If you remember from previous lessons, I told you that flip style cameras tend to perform best in daylight, which is blue in color. So what we want to do is use daylight bulbs for our lamps. To do that, we're going to use CFL bulbs, which just means those new twisty fluorescent bulbs that you can get everywhere these days. But you want to make sure you get bulbs listed as daylight. Some will actually list the color temperature of the bulbs in degrees of Kelvin, where anything at 5400 or above is daylight. The only gotcha with these daylight CFL bulbs is that sometimes they're actually too blue, making things in your video look too blue. If that happens, you'll want to go down to the next level in light color for these bulbs, which is usually called bright white or super white. What wattage should you get? Well, that depends on what you're lighting. If you're just doing a talking head video like I am here, you can get away with 40 or 60 watt bulbs. If you need to light a larger area in your video, just move up in bulb wattage, say to 75, 100 watts or higher. But no matter what, you want to stick with these fluorescent or CFL bulbs because they use very little power and they run fairly cool. Sometimes people like to use halogen shop lamps. What they find out is that they'll blow fuses because halogen lights suck power, and plus they get so hot they're actually dangerous. You don't have these issues with CFL bulbs. Now, once you have your bulb screwed into your utility lamp, what you want to do next is diffuse the light. If you remember from previous lessons, I talked about hard light and soft light, where hard light would be the sun that creates shadows, and soft light is smooth and flattering in your videos. And by diffusing our light, we are making it soft. How do we diffuse the light? Well, it's very simple. Take a frosted or semi-transparent shower curtain that you can buy when you're picking up your utility lamps and bulbs, cut out a portion of it and attach it to the reflector on your lamp. I like to use Velcro to do this. And just like that, you get soft diffused light. Plus, because we're using fluorescent bulbs, we don't have to worry about starting a fire, and we have easy access if we want to swap out the bulbs with different wattages. In a nutshell, we've created what are called softbox lights, which cost several $100s in the professional world, but we've done it for just a few dollars and a few minutes of our time. Now, if you want to be able to focus or direct the light a little bit more, or if your bulbs are too long to place a diffuser on the front of the reflector, let me show you another trick. You're going to take a reflector off a second utility lamp, cut a portion of it off, and then tape it to the front of your other utility lamp. Now you've got room to add your diffuser, and the light will have a tighter beam that you can focus a little more into a particular area. Now you can tweak this basic lighting kit however you want. I just gave you a blueprint on the basics, but the whole idea is we want 2 or 3 lights which will act as our key, fill, or backlight. We want the lights to be in the daylight color range. We want them to run cool and use little power, and we want them to fuse so we have soft light. So how do we use these? Well, going back to the previous lesson on 2 or 3 point lighting, the way I would set these lights up is this. I would have the key light as our main light, maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of me and off to the left at about a 45-degree angle. The fill light, or the light that fills in shadows, would be 6 to 7 feet in front of me and off to the right again at a 45-degree angle. And if I wanted to use a backlight on my shoulders or head, it would be behind and above me off to one side. What happens if a light is too strong or too weak? Well, you simply move the lights closer or further away from you, or you can even change the bulbs. But don't try to use any type of dimmers with fluorescent lights. Dimmers either won't work with these bulbs or they'll cause a lot of flicker. So that's how to quickly and inexpensively build your own portable indoor lighting kit for flip style cameras. Sometimes I even use these do-it-yourself lighting kits when shooting professional videos, and now you know how to do it too.